Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to VANTEC Angel Network.
Oh.
This is our final VANTEC meeting before we have our summer break. And it's a lovely day. I want to thank you all for coming and being inside in this venue. And you can still look out the window to experience some of that sunniness. So we're going to get started. But first, with gratitude and respect, we acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Now, VANTEC has been operating for almost 25 years. Imagine that. We have Mike Volker, who's the founder, in the room. So if you don't know him, he's trying to blend himself in the crowd. There he is in the back. Hi, Mike. If it wasn't for Mike, we wouldn't be operating the way we are now. But it's been almost 25 years that we've been putting investors and entrepreneurs together. We are a group of angel investors who support BC-based entrepreneurs. We are over 180 members. So we are the biggest angel group in BC. More than 3,000 companies have presented since that April 1999 meeting. And a good number of them have received investments from all of you. And it's not just investments from VANTEC in the form of money, but also in terms of mentorship and networks. So thank you for all that. So our mission at VANTEC is to grow the BC angel investor community and support our members to create a wonderful ecosystem. We're supported by the Canadian government. We're also supported by two professional angel group organizations, the Canadian-based National Angel Capital Organization, NACO, and the US-based ACA, Angel Capital Association. Now, we've made a lot of investments, and you can see there's a steady rise of the number of companies that we've invested and the dollar amount. So that's really great. We're supported by the Canadian government, NRC IRAP programs, NACO and ACA. So the members, the investors amongst us, when you see an email from us asking for your data, please participate, because this is really important to understand how our ecosystem works, and it helps our professional organizations, NACO and ACA, for petition for policy that's amenable for our startup ecosystem. We've made a lot of investments since 2022. We have two main funds that are associated with the VANTEC Angel Network, eFund and WoodIF. And there are representatives of both in the crowd tonight, this evening. And of course, individual angels make investments directly through the VANTEC Angel Network platform. To become a member is pretty easy. You just go to our website. There's a join as a member. Full membership is $600. If you are with one of our partner organizations, like WoodIF or eFund, your membership with the same benefits is only $400. And if you choose to only be online membership, there's lots of benefits there too. Just go to our website, vantec.ca, and find out. We're grateful to our annual sponsors. Some of them have been with us since the very beginning. So a big shout out to Fasken, Tandem, Western Pacific Trust Company, Raymond James, OKR, Go Recruitment, Invest Ventures, and of course, SFU Venture Labs, who has allowed us to have our monthly meetings at this beautiful venue for quite a few years. We also have community partners, I already mentioned EFUN, WoodIF, and our professional organizations, ACA and NACO, but also a shout out to Keiretsu Forum, Tandem Innovation Group, Go Recruitment, Rocket Builders, and Volition and Spring Activator. Now our agenda today, we're going to start off with some community announcements. That's what VANTEC is known for. We're very supportive and active in our local community. Then after that, we'll go right into our company presentations. We start off with the 90-second spots. And this is where we want audience participation. So we want you to choose your favorite 90-second spots of the company so that they can be. Can you hear me? Not, thank you very much. Okay, so that they can be invited. So when you choose your favorite 90-second spot, they can be invited back for a full presentation. And then after that, we get to partake in some great food and beverage, and it's being set up right now as we speak at the back of the room. We're always looking for feedback. So like I said, when the 90-second pitches are done, we want you to vote for your favorite 90-second pitch. We also want you to give some feedback on the full presenters. All this data is given back to them so that they can all improve and be better at help them with their pitch presentation as well as their capital raise. And of course, we want to find out what we can improve as well. So we also send out an event survey. So we love to have your opinion because we always act on them. Okay, with company announcements, a lot of this is already on the website. I want to call up Jillian and Edward. And they'll give their community announcement.
Okay. Thanks, VANTEC, and hello, everyone. My name is Lilian Jing Liu. Canada-China Cross-Border Innovation Alliance is a federal non-profit organization. Our mission is invest in Canada and access to China. So our members are not only Chinese Canadian entrepreneurs and investors from all over the world, but also the whole Canadian entrepreneurs and investors. We help them to raise money and help them to access to the second biggest market in the world. Or provide interview, roadshow, mentoring, and network. We are an active and strong entrepreneur and investor community.
Hi, I'm Edward. I'm the COO of CCIA. We have a regular roadshow, and this is the best way to show the accomplishments of our members. And we also cultivate a stronger community that encourage collaborations and innovations. Our next roadshow is on the 12th of September. So do mark your calendar and welcome to join us. We do have interviews with different stakeholders, including the investors, entrepreneurs, experts, and government officials. It is a great opportunity to share your stories and promote your business through our social network. Next page. Yeah, as growing organizations, we welcome individuals to join our community. You could play a role as a business mentors, sponsors, or partners. So don't hesitate to get in touch with me or our CEO, Mily, to explore the potential collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward and Lillian. So you know what they look like. So during networking, please contact them and find out more about their program. So our next announcement is from Roger Killen. Roger.
You. Hello, everyone. I'm the community manager for VANTEC, and what that means is that my job is to help members get as rich and full an experience from their membership as possible. Felzel told you a moment ago that we're about to go on a summer break. And so I have got 4 messages, short messages that I'd like to deliver to you. 2 messages for our members and 2 messages for our guests. All 4 messages have been commissioned at great expense to be written by a storyteller from Limerick in Ireland. Members' messages first. VANTEC members, lend me your ear. Let's make our membership drive crystal clear. Bring your angel friends along so we can create a strong thong and build innovation to revere. Yay, it gets better. Attention, VANTEC members, old and new, spread the word. We have something to pursue. Bring your angel friends, invite them all. Let's create a network strong and tall to help great ideas break through. Thank you. Maybe somewhere along the line, I'll deserve a standing ovation. Let's go for messages to guests. Guests, join us, angels bold. Let VANTEC's Join us, angels bold. Let VANTEC's network unfold. With pitch events and more, we'll help BC startups soar and innovations take hold. Thank you. And finally, VANTEC soars to a new height as it helps innovations ignite. With mentors and investors, we are many startups' ancestors. Join us and watch your wealth take flight.
I'm left speechless. We have a poet, don't we know it? All right, so other community announcements, they are listed on our website. So please take a look at today's agenda. They're all listed here. Upcoming events, both for investors and the community. Okay, for our online presenters, there's quite a few of you online. Please mute yourself when not presenting. Phone and any notifications to anything that beeps, please don't beep. Network, make new connections. You can do this online. You've already experienced it. No soliciting unless you're a presenter, and please identify yourself as a company, investor, or community. Now, in person, place yourself in this square on the floor so that you're on camera. Keep the microphone close for the best audio so you can hear me and hear yourself, and use the clicker to advance your slides, which is right here. I prefer to use voice activation because the clicker and I don't get along. Tips for entrepreneurs. There's a number of tips you can see on the screen, but really the bottom line is network, network, network. And your efforts do not just end here at VANTEC. We share your GUS profile, which is the platform that we use for all the entrepreneurs, with its members. Not only that, we're very active in the Pacific Northwest, and once a month we get together and we promote the companies that have presented full presentations at VANTEC. If you haven't already, here are the Wi-Fi credentials for you to be hooked up. And at the end of all the presentations, we're going to need your help to reconfigure this room so that we will have all the presenting companies at tables so that you can easily go up and talk to them. So your assistance is greatly appreciated. And here's the map of what the room would look like after we do all the presentations. Don't worry, we'll flash this up again so that we could all participate in reconfiguring the room. So to contact and connect with us, there's a number of different ways. We're on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Of course, we have our website, and you can always email us at info@vantec.ca. Okay, thank you for that. And we're going to start off with the 90-second spots, and just a little bit of a introduction. We're going, come September, we're going to be joined by two new people. Actually, they're not that new. You already know them. Aaron Stewart, from COO of Woodif. You've seen him attend the VANTEC meetings in the past. And we have Lindsay, who volunteered at VANTEC more than 10 years ago. And so Aaron and Lindsay will be taking over the reins come September. So during the summer, we'll be working hard on that transition. Don't worry, Frank and I are not going to be going away anytime soon, but you'll see more of Aaron and Lindsay. To start things off, I'm going to call up Lindsay because she's going to introduce the 90-second spots.
Okay, I've actually never used one of these. Hi, I'm Lindsay Volker. And Aaron should be on the screen, but he's not, but you all know him. I just wanted to say hi. Hi, Aaron. There he is. Felzel just said that we will be helping with the VANTEC meetings. Goal is to get membership up and get better quality deals. So in the next couple of weeks, Aaron and I are actually going to be reaching out to all of you investors, get your input, see how things can be better, change, whatnot, and we're really looking forward to it. So come September, the investor meeting is September 6th. So please all come, and I invite you to bring any active or inspiring angel investors in your network. So bring them, and we'll have a great event. Thanks. Oh, and now, okay, so we'll start off the 90-second pitches. These two will be updates. So we'll have Breeze Traffic, and then next on deck is Cascadia Seaweed Corp. Thanks.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Alexander, and I'm co-founder of Breeze Traffic. And I will start my presentation update with a description of what we do, a quick summary. We develop technology which helps any city decrease emissions from traffic by up to 30%. Quick summary, one single word. Since we last presented to this forum back in March, we made a full presentation in March, we achieved a lot, and we de-risked our venture a lot. First of all, we deployed our technology in the field. We installed our technology at 5 intersections in the city of Surrey, and we began continuous data collection and analysis of traffic and emissions for TransLink, our counterparty. We're enjoying very deep insights into the operations of TransLink and of city of Surrey. And we're learning a lot, and we already have very fairly clear idea of what kind of project we'll be doing with each of them next, after we complete our current project. We believe that we achieved product customer fit, and we're working to achieve product market fit and develop go-to-market strategy, scalable. On the financing side, since we last presented, we identified our lead investor, Woodif Capital. We reached agreement with them. We negotiated and signed term sheet. We secured commitment from 3 angels, and we're seeking to raise only $100,000 to close our round. And I really hope that we can find some of this money today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next up is Cascadia Seaweed Corp. Is this online?
Yes, hi Lindsay. Can you hear me okay?
Great, okay. And then next up will be Mily, if you want to be ready.
Okay, hi Angels. I'm Robert Napoli, CFO of Cascadia Seaweed. We presented in March. At that time, we also presented to Keiretsu, and have gone through a due diligence process, and they've produced a report on us for our $1.5 million round, of which 10% is remaining. Just to update you, we are regeneratively growing kelp in the ocean for agricultural markets to address climate change and food security. We're focused on 2 agricultural markets, and since our pitch in March, we've received field trial information back for our biostimulants, which showed a better than competitor efficacy with a lower dosage rate. So we're very encouraged by that, and we're able to achieve 70% gross margins on that product. We also did field trials for cattle feed, which showed an improvement in feed conversion ratio. Our farms are owned by First Nations, and we are looking to scale up in Prince Rupert. As I said, a $1.5 million round is 90% filled, including some Keiretsu members. We are EBC qualified, looking to close the round with a due diligence report available. Thank you very much.
Okay. Great. 10 seconds to spare. That's nice. Okay, Mily, is this online or here? Okay, here she is. And then Secure 3D is up next. There you go.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Anna Holovko and I'm from Ukraine. My experience is more than 15 years in the IT industry. The Mily game is a digital space for kids, an evolutionary solution for the development of creative thinking of kids. Mily is a space for kids 2 to 8 years old. It offers various creative mini games where they develop pictures that come to life. The child draws the hero, creates a setting, for example a farm. They add characters, for example animals, who each have songs and a voice. The child is immersed in the farm. As they listen, they learn, they create and they play. Each of the 70 characters has its own voice, and the child can save and change elements to create different experiences. Currently our team is in the final stage of testing the application, and I am here to offer you the opportunity to participate in the development of our project in the next of development. To promote the product in the North American market, we required an investment of $350,000 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be happy to answer all your questions during the coffee break.
Okay, thank you. So Secure 3D, and then next up, anyw Technology Corp. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Left and right, got it. Hi, everyone. My name is Nitesh Mistry. I am the president and co-founder of Secured, where our focus is on safeguarding creators and protecting and authenticating user-generated content on 3D platforms. The 3D creator economy is already a $100 billion industry across gaming and social platforms. But there is a dark shadow over this growing creative landscape. That's theft, plagiarism, and IP infringement that is costing companies millions of dollars. And it's only going to get worse. New tools and technology have democratized creation, but also disruptive creative industries to the point where there's more content now than ever, and moderation costs are ballooning. Which is where we come in at Secured as a additional support to help these platforms. We've built AI-powered proprietary technology that can real-time analyze and compare 3D assets at the point of ingestion.
So essentially acting as a gatekeeper, proactively screening content and stopping theft and infringement before it happens, which ultimately saves our customers time, resources, and money, and helps them fulfill their, am I over? Oh, sorry. Ultimately helps them save them time, money, and resources, and essentially help them moving along. Why are we the right team? Why are we the right team? Our pedigree is 3D content. I'm done. Our pedigree is 3D content. We've been in the space for 15 years developing 3D content for Microsoft, Xbox, Sony, PlayStation, and Roblox. Thank you.
Right. He's staying for the networking part, so you can all talk to him after that. Okay. Anyway, technology, that's correct. Okay, and then next up, Tree Track Intelligence.
Hello? Perfect. User feedback analytics powered by AI. So companies like to collect stuff like this. This is a review for the Twitter mobile app. It's got a number, stars, text, it's over time, and there's like a lot of them. So Mary, product manager for Twitter, looks at January and goes, oh no, ratings are down. What? How would you know why that happened? There's like 7,000 reviews. Go through all of them? I guess not. We quantify statements that explain the drop in ratings. So here's our pitch. Companies already know what their users are doing. We build AI that discovers why, what to do about it, and what next. Peter and I have over 40 years in tech, a few successful exits we've tasted. We've done AI for a living. I have a PhD in AI. You may relate to some of our background. We already have some quality partners. SaaS, B2B, a big market. We're pre-revenue. We have a product. We're raising 2 million over 8. We already have some interest, but we're not fully subscribed. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Tree Track Intelligence, please. And then next on deck, well in 5.
Hello, everybody. Oh, wow, that was loud. Yeah, my name is Amir. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Tree Track. What we're doing in Tree Track, we're using proprietary drone and seed pod to meet the high demand of reforestation all around the world. So, as you know, we're losing millions of hectares every year due to just wildfire. And if you want to replant all those, it's going to cost billions of dollars. And as you know, so far we lost 6 million of hectares in Canada, and summer is just not started. And their pain point is manual planting is a slow, expensive, and cost-effective, and they have hard time to reach the remote areas. So what we have the drone, and the drone is custom designed in-house and is just for the reforestation. And we designed the seed pod. There is a seed in it, and we're gonna drop the seed and the seed pod, and after getting rain, it's gonna germinate, and we will have beautiful forest back in Canada. So we are here to raise $500,000. So by that, we can have our 1 million revenue by the next year, and we can accelerate our idea. And we are here in the POCO. We will love to have you guys there to see our drone and how it flies and how it's drop the seed pods in our forest. And we have some potential pilot tests that we're gonna start our pilot test this fall. Thank you so much.
Okay, next is well in 5, and then after that, Seawise Innovative Packaging.
Thank you, Lindsay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Let's move this here. Good afternoon. My name is William Massey, and I'm the CEO and founder of Well-in-5. Well-in-5 is a virtual mental health therapy app which provides post-therapy support to significantly improve therapist-client relationships. What makes us stand out from the rest of the crowd is our traction thus far. We have generated 1.2 million since 2019 from Canadian market, and we are excited to launch our second product here in the US this month. Our total market size is $36 billion, which includes virtual therapy as well as EHR. We have identified a unique market entry point where we have only 3 to 4 direct competitors in this space. Our business model includes monthly subscriptions as well as pay-as-you-go plans with gross margins between 40 to 80%. My background is 15 years in healthcare, e-commerce, business management. Other team members of our team have clinical as well as tech background. In addition to that, we have 3 great advisors. The first one has led 3 IPOs with 40 years of experience. Second one has sold his company in employee benefit space with 40 years of experience. And third one with 20 years of experience in healthcare space. Currently, we are raising $600,000 in a bridge round. The use of investment is to add key hires, cover marketing and operations. Previously, in our pre-seed round, we raised $2 million. I will leave my contact information in the chat room. For all interested investors, I look forward to scheduling a call with you. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, next up is Seawise Innovative Packaging. Online, okay. And then next is Pilot.
Hello, my name is Jesse Knight of Seawise, and we specialize in sustainable insulated packaging. Seawise was born out of the seafood industry. Our global customers, Cermak Mitsubishi, came to us asking for a sustainable solution to styrofoam, and we are now raising capital for our first round for sales, marketing, help, and machinery to scale. Our lab successfully created a plant-based biodegradable foam beads to replace styrofoam, and we're finalizing a patent commercialization plan as we speak. We also have patented an insulated liner or a bag that's perfect for fillets and now targeting the meal kit and farm industry. Thermalock is a biodegradable and recyclable and has a better R value than styrofoam. It can also double as a cold pack. Our UVP is that we check every sustainability box, and we're less expensive than any other insulator on the market. As you can see, the products that we used previously were less than half in the thermal liner segment. I used a bottom-up approach to find a conservative SOM. Just to put in perspective, Cermak Global, we would target initially. In Chile alone, they have 20 million units, about 100 million in revenue. We're targeting a 20 million share in the North American seafood and a 6% market share in fresh food home delivery. We're looking to raise about 1 to 1.25 million for about 10 to 15%. Approximately 7 to 8 million is our pre-money value. Hard to put a value on that because of our global opportunity. I'm also new to this, so we are looking for a lead investor to help me grow the company and support the business side with me. And finally, a little bit about us. I was once a Team Canada head volleyball coach and won many universities or won many championships. And this is one of my best teams ever, but we're looking to improve that. I will leave my information in the chat as well and hope to hear from some of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is Pilot. I'm gonna have to also get tougher with these 90 seconds. No, next time. And then CERO after them, please. CERO Technologies. Oh, sorry.
Ready, good. All right, so if any of you have tried to plan trips recently, you know that it's a nightmare, and I was expecting a resounding hallelujah on that. Organizing travel is an incredibly fragmented experience today. Many trips just don't happen because everyone involved has to answer a whole series of complicated questions. This is tedious, costly, and stressful, especially in groups, which is how most people like to travel. Travel today is a $760 billion market. Within 10 years, a next-gen platform will solve the problems we've identified, replace organizing trips on Google Docs and Sheets, and disrupt today's online travel marketplaces, capturing 1% of the market in the process.
This is why we're building a platform, or more specifically, an AI-powered social travel hub to help groups discover, plan, book, and share trips. Everything you'll need, essentially, all in one place. So why hasn't this been done yet? Our target users, which is young professionals, have told us that competitors are point solutions designed too rigidly, too complicated, not fun, not collaborative, or behind paywall, sometimes all of the above. No single app today is effectively gathering data on the entire travel lifecycle.
Unlike competitors, Pilot is centralized, which means we are gathering data on the entire travel lifecycle. We're personalized, we're simple, and crucially, we're social and built for group trips. Travel is inherently social, but nobody in travel is doing social well. This is an enormous opportunity, one we're going to capitalize on to drive free organic viral growth, minimize customer acquisition cost at scale, and most importantly, enable our AI to understand groups and personalize to them better than anybody else in the travel industry. Today, we're helping over 18,000 users stress less, save time, and have fun. We're looking to raise another 500,000 on top of the 900 we've already raised to fund our next round, as well as 3.5 to 4 mil from institutional investors. Come join us as we build the next unicorn in travel. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, and then CERO Technologies. Yes, go ahead. Oh, yes.
Thank you. I'm Steve Kikuchi, the CEO of CERO Technologies. CERO is a first of its kind, multi-activity, global digital measurement, reporting, and verification tool. We're a SaaS solution for real-time quantification of verifiable carbon credits at scale. The problem we're solving is the current system to create credits is manual, complex, and costly. They can't make credits fast enough or credibly enough. We remove that pain point by quantifying digitally. Our target markets are EVs, buildings, and fuel switching. We're pre-revenue, but our MVP was just completed with the Ani Group, and all the other logos here are initial discussions or either starting commercial talks. Our solution works with asset owners, data aggregators, and carbon calculators. All we need to succeed are voluntary actions, reducing emissions, and create a credit and create a data stream. We also have patent pending on this technology. There are no upfront costs for our clients, and revenue to CERO comes from a percentage of the carbon credit. Our team are experienced first movers in the carbon and software space. I have 20 years in climate and clean tech. Our CEO is a recognized carbon expert with the first and only patent issued by the US Patent Office in this space. Edo is a former head of Microsoft in Vancouver, and Cam is a former head of PwC's national tech practice. Our raise is EBC eligible, and we're pursuing other non-dilutive funds currently. We're raising $1 million of common equity on a $5 million pre-money valuation. We have a product demo we can provide at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was all the 90-second pitches. So if you're online, you will see a link to vote for your favorite 90-second pitch. And if you're here in person, well, you can take a picture of the QR code that's on the screen. And there's also QR codes on the table. So as I said at the beginning of this meeting, we're looking for your votes for your favorite 90-second pitch. The ones with the top scores will be invited back to make a presentation in front of a small panel of VANTEC members and sponsors, and they will be selecting those companies to move forward with full presentations. Speaking of which, we've got 4 full presentations coming up. The way it works is that they will present for 5 minutes. They have 5 minutes Q&A, and then afterwards, when we reconfigure the room, you'll be able to speak to not just the full presenters, but also all the 90-second pitches to find out a bit more about them. Okay, so the first full presentation is FUTURi Power. I'm going to invite their angel sponsor, Vikram, to tell us in 30 seconds or less why he likes this deal. Vikram.
Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce you to Dr. Martin Ordonez, CEO of FUTURi Power. Martin is a power engineering professor at UBC. Martin has brought together a world-class team who has developed the next generation modular energy management and storage solution that is going to disrupt incumbents like Enphase Energy and Tesla. I was an investor in Enphase 20 years ago. Today, they're a $24 billion company. Similar to UBC spin-offs, Apceller and Aspect, I'm confident FUTURi has the potential to become a unicorn in the next 5 to 7 years. I present to you Dr. Martin.
Thank you. Great to be here. FUTURi Power is in the business of easy electrification. And when you look at solar, EVs, battery storage generators, most people neither want them. Actually, the intention for purchase is fairly high. For example, 50% in 5 years for solar, 33% for EVs. And when there is a power outage, this number is huge because everybody needs power and electricity, including all the companies I presented before, to operate. And the reasons are multiple. Power outages, energy savings, there are many reasons why people want to adopt those. But the truth is that it doesn't happen easily. Why? Upfront costs, it's expensive. The knowledge we require to decide on the system is also challenging. Space, there are bulky pieces of equipment. And I'm going to give you a hint. My house, my home is not ready, and your home is not ready, most likely. Most pieces of infrastructure are not ready to get, the new electrification pieces of equipment. The reason is simple. We've been building houses for 100 years in the same way. Framing homes like this, traditional way, and we've been doing energy systems, including the incumbents here, in the same way for a long time. 66% soft cost, very time consuming, very expensive. So we're going to change this with a piece of technology, and we're going to do it in the following way. We created a modular energy system that is perfect for the new way of doing construction, which is manufactured homes. So we're creating a piece of high-tech equipment that will go into the new way of doing construction. So the breakthrough FUTURi Zero is a panel that has very low upfront cost. You can buy the chassis and then decide if you want solar, if you want EV chargers, if you want battery backup, anything that you require, you can add it later. So it really simplifies the complexity. It will guide you through the process of energizing your home in the way that makes sense to you. And if you end up with 1 EVs or 2 EVs or 3 EVs, you can actually hook them up. The system has a flexibility. Zero volume built into the wall is aesthetically positive. So every home with FUTURi Zero will be prepared for the future. So what are we doing manufactured homes? We can dominate this market. Home builders are fully on board, and we have a list of 3 builders in British Columbia who are looking forward to testing the product. They love it, and we're going to make this happen. And for those who are not familiar with the business of construction, I'm coming from a family of builders, so I spend time in construction sites. It's surprising that 10% of new homes are now manufactured. And for the energy system itself, manufactured homes with our system is a $2 billion market. And then when you add traditional homes, it will add $30 billion. And if you add the whole market in the US and Canada, it's about $250 billion. We're very focused. Players are here, complicated upfront cost. We live there. Deferred cost simplicity. We are stylish, flexible, and modular. And the competition is still living in the past. We have a simple business model. our energy system will be sold to home builders that will create homes that will command the premium. Homeowners decide later how they want to electrify their homes. Competitive advantages, I'm coming from a research background. We have a 20-year IP transfer agreement with UBC. We have access to a $10 million facility. We're getting 2,000 applicants per year. We have top talent available for FUTURi and access to federal government grants, non-dilutive funding because of a track record that we have doing research and development. We just got granted a contract with the federal government for 150 now and a potential 1 million by the end of the year. The team, it's me, Professor Anka, researcher at UBC, and we have Tomas with experience with Enersys, Tesla, General Fusion, products people, CTO, firmware. We're just looking for a bit of cash, 500,000 for 10% stake in the company, and we're releasing a product in Q2 2024, 1.5 million sales in 2025, and we're looking for 8 million in 2026. Pick the energy system that you like the most for your architectural style. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so questions. Who has questions? If you're online, you could type your question in the chat. Yes, we have one person here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you please tell us about your competition and how you distinguish yourself?
Well, the competition is focused on retrofits, knocking door by door, trying to get solar power, battery storage, things like that in infrastructure that exists. We are focusing on, in the same way that you see electric vehicles now coming out of factories, we're going to create the EV of homes. You're going to see homes coming with our powertrain out of a factory.
Thanks, Roger. Thank you very much. So is this essentially a solar charge controller and inverter system in a wall-mounted system?
So it can be that if that's what you want for your home, but it's much more than that. It's an EV to home, EV to grid, solar to EV. We're really cutting, the energy transfer from any point to any point to the minimum with our power architecture. And we can add a wireless power transfer module for your EV, anything that makes sense, and it will grow with you basically. So yes, it does that job, but a lot more.
Can you define some of the power specs?
So we're tailoring this for a modern net zero home with the power consumption and the number of kilowatt hours that a new construction requires that are fairly high efficiency with LED lights and all of that. Mm-hmm.
So about 12,000 kilowatt hours?
It could be, it depends on the square footage basically, but yes, it could be along those lines.
Cool.
Great question, thank you.
Hello. So will that allow bi-directional power?
Yes.
From EV to the home and back?
Yes.
Okay.
Bidirectionality it's important. When you park your EV, taking energy from your EV, if there is a power outage or something goes wrong, could give you energy for 3 to 7 days.
So that has more possibility to expand
Yes.
to a larger commercial market even.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It's a modular system. I'll pass it to you, Keith. Yeah.
So you're not really actually putting the batteries into the wall, you're just putting a series of inverters in there so that power can go from the objects like the battery or the car back into the AC circuits of the dwelling.
So we have we have a patented technology. It's power conversion, and it's dedicated to do that power flow. But people need to think about solar power, EVs, battery packs as an appliance. You go buy a dishwasher, you can go buy a battery pack and just hook it up. It has to be very simple. But yes, it's a specialized piece of power conversion, the energy system, but you simplify. Is there another question in the back? Yes.
It seems to be a much bigger market. Why you are ignoring that?
It is a bigger market, but the world is in a way better position if this is done right at the source when the house is manufactured. Yes, we can do a retrofit for you for free. If you really want a system, we can do a pilot at your home. But I'm telling you that is very time consuming, expensive, soft costs are super high, permitting. Great question.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all the time we have for questions. Martin, don't go away yet. We had some really great questions here, so you can choose the person who had the best question and hand them this book that Roger's holding. And while he's deciding who's going to get the book, please look in your chat. If you're online, there's a link to do company feedback. And of course, again, the QR code that's on your desk. You could give some feedback to the company. So who has the best question?
Actually, Mr. Yang, the last question is the best question because it really shows how we're very focused on the future and how to deploy this correctly. So I'll pass it to him.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to go to the next full presentation. Same deal. We have an angel sponsor who will give his assessment as to why we should pay attention. So to do that will be Charles. You can tell us, why should we be considering Viewpoint as an investment?
Thank you, Thelzo. I know we hear the term groundbreaking all the time, but more than 30 years ago here in Vancouver, McDonald Detweiler came up with a concept of how to make decisions using a brand new paradigm. And this platform was used to create the power grid as we know it throughout Western US and into Canada. And it created something which was very, very helpful and useful, and decisions were required lots and lots of data. Several years ago, Viewpoint decided to go in and take that original technology and make brand new decisions with it, literally. And they have created something which takes data from sources which weren't available back in McDonald Detweiler's days, i.e. the internet, AI, et cetera, and create decisions which are helping humans make decisions in complex situations everywhere. I'm very, very excited about this. Kurt, to you.
Thank you. All right. Sure, you all had the experience of making a decision and it not working out very well. It happens. So at Viewpoint AI, we're all about enhancing human decision-making. So my name is Kurt Pitchler, and I started Viewpoint because I want to make better decisions. And I don't like the thought of missing out on something important in that decision that could lead to a negative outcome, because then I'm only relying on luck. So the problem that we're addressing is that in companies, there are teams of people making decisions everywhere, and there are challenges to that. The financial loss, waste time, missed opportunities, these are painful, but they're just the symptom. The actual underlying problem is the inability for teams, large or small, to process complex information in a way and fast enough to do anything about it. So that's what we're directly heading on. So what if there was a platform that could take in all the data and just give you what you need when you needed it? Well, there is. With Viewpoint AI, we can easily capture data from a number of these data sources, but we do something really unique is we incorporate the human. human expert. So you have a viewpoint, and you do, and each of you have a viewpoint. We make sure that that's included in a decision, and our platform can organize it, and it learns what's important. And then it can give you what you need when you need it. So therefore it increases the speed, but it also can help you get to the right decision faster. So this is where human and machine work together optimally. So in this example, it's a hiring example. So everyone's been a part of a hiring team. You all have to align, find consensus of the right person to hire. In this case, we've got the hiring manager and the CEO and the engineering department all aligned after assessment on the top pick. It's Andrew. But our platform helps you see things that may have been missed by the team. Our platform has identified that this person does check out in terms of the skills required for the job, but has also identified that there might be a gap in terms of how that person works within a team. And this could result in a negative decision. So we are like nothing else. And I don't want you to be putting us in a box of data analytics, BI, visualization software. We're a hybrid of the best of these. And what distinguishes us is that we're highly collaborative and we can get to a decision really fast. And the net result is increased decision confidence. The market is pretty big, everyone knows. AI is creating a lot of value everywhere, but we fit into this section of AI called decision intelligence. And according to Gartner, it's a top emerging trend. Our customers are teams of decision makers and companies. And even though we have many market applications in many different industries, we're focusing first on recruitment, decisions related to recruitment. We have a sales funnel, we have teams in place, and we also get a lot of referrals. So our sales funnel looks like this. This company, Open, they're the first in the recruitment space. We're just signing them right now, our first enterprise client. We've negotiated, the paperwork is with the lawyer, it'll be done later this week. And then we're going to expand further into the recruitment space and then eventually into investment and due diligence. Our business model is B2B and B2B2C. We we sell monthly and annual subscriptions to teams of decision makers, and the prices go from freemium to it could go up as high as $500,000 a year, an annual subscription, just depending on the size of the team. So our financial outlook looks like this. We think that from this point, we can ramp up to about 400,000 by the end of the year. And within a year and a half, we can get to a $3 million run rate. So I'm a team builder, and I put this team together to deliver on this vision. So the three founders here, we have over 80 years of experience in some of the key areas for the markets that we're entering. And this is our development team, the core of our development team. They're amazing, and we're going to be building off that with our next round of funding. So far, we brought in 1.5 million. We have a team, we have a product ready to sell, we have a sales funnel, we have our first enterprise customer and EBC. And right now, we are looking to raise $2 million as a seed two for an 18-month runway. And our goal is to get to $3 million in ARR within a year and a half. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any questions from the audience? Don't be shy. The best question gets a book.
Yes, Richard. Yes.
So Kurt, do you have any direct competitors in the space?
Yes, companies in the decision intelligence space are direct, and there was a couple logos up there. We are distinguished a bit in how collaborative we are. We have a full kind of breakdown of how we line up with other companies in the decision intelligence space. It's fast and it's growing. And Gartner has identified that. So there's other companies there, but I'm happy to show you later our breakdown of this competition.
Good. What's the current status of your platform in terms of development, and how many freemium users do you have at this point in time?
Yeah, we have about just brought on, we have about 10 freemium users. We have a couple of our investors and others who are using it right now and paying. So that's small. We're using them to test and validate a lot of the applications. And we're also working out our onboarding and user interface elements. We've launched our beta version of our platform. But now we have an enterprise client and it'll take 2 months to integrate into their environment, and they'll also be selling us to their customers.
Yes. Yeah, question here. What kind of data inputs do you use for your platform for it to make a decision? Just going back to your hiring example, you said the platform would pick up things that humans might not. How is it ingesting the data?
Yeah, I like that question. That's a great question because we have numerous ways of ingesting data. I'm going to give you an example of one of the key ways. So in every single decision we make, there's always criteria. Some criteria is just weighted more than others. Some we just keep in our mind. That's more important. So maybe in terms of hiring someone, the team workability is extremely important because that's maybe unique to this position. So we want to make sure that these elements, even though they're a soft kind of skill, we want to make sure that they're involved in humans. When we can pick that up just by simply ranking some factors or maybe candidates as more suitable to sit in certain positions, and we can pick up that data pattern.
Great. Quick follow-up question on that. So are you building your own LLM, and how are you training your models? Or are you building on top of the existing LLM or foundational model?
Yeah, thank you. We're building on top of existing MLM models. We're actually integrated with ChatGPT as an example of how we can do it with any other MLM model. We can, right now, today, we can ask in our platform, ChatGPT, or another, or ChatGPT is the one is the example, but we can ask it, I want to invest into an early stage biotech company. What are the most important factors in it, and also rank it in order of importance. And it can then load into our platform, and now it's collaborative, and we can now invite all of you to participate in a collaborative decision. And we're capturing then context around the factors, maybe adding in more factors. So we make LLM models more valuable.
For recruitment, there are quite a lot of nonverbal cues that we focus on. Is there a way to record a conversation and ask for output based on that?
Recording a conversation and output? Yes, there is. We have the core of the platform. There are many other applications to plug into it now that we have our core. We don't have, there's also numerous other applications to add into it. Being able to take a recording and translate it and even create a summary of a summary and even deduce the factors. We can do some of that now, but that's in our development roadmap.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for questions. We got a lot of interest in this company, so please talk to Kurt afterwards and for networking. And don't forget to take a look at your chat function if you're online, because there is a link to give company feedback. And of course, if you're here in person, take a look at the QR code so you can give them feedback. So Kurt, who asked the best question?
The data question right back here in the corner. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, next up is Echo Labs, and Steve Neal should be here to give us his take on as to why we should pay special attention to Echo Labs.
How does Brian control the pages?
Will be online, yeah. So my name's Steve Neal. I began my journey with Echo Labs as an advisor, then became an investor, a founder. I am now the Chief Investment Officer and Vice President of Business Development. I believe in this company. I believe in their vision, their ability to scale, and their team. Our team is led by Dr. Dean Riley. He's a PhD geologist, ex-US military, and one of our co-founders. And Ryan Jones, our CEO, who is a veteran Silicon Valley startup, exited numerous companies. He is an electrical engineer and a MBA. Ryan, please continue our story.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Sorry, I'm doing remotely, so I have both the screen and trying to talk. Are we good, Wendy?
Yep,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Fantastic. All right, thank you for the introduction. Okay, so we're Echo Labs. I'm one of the co-founder, Ryan Jones. So first thing we'd like to do is introduce you to our team. We built this team around the minds of several experts in hyperspectral imaging as well as remote sensing worlds. And we've added to our team people who've been successful in angel funding, Series A, exits, IPOs in tech startups. So where we spend our time is in the hyperspectral imaging software and analytics space. This space is extremely powerful technology whereby we can gain multiple insights into the assessing an environment. So we spend our time on the software processing chains to process hyperspectral imaging for environment impact assessment. And what do we mean by that? So hyperspectral is all of the light beyond the visible eye. And essentially, everything on the surface of the earth has a fingerprint. And so the sun reflects and absorbs off all the materials on the earth. The cameras pick up what's been absorbed, what's been reflected. And from analytics standpoint, we can ascertain many, many different things in that environment. And I'll speak to that. So with one flight, hyperspectral, again, very powerful. We can get multiple insights about an environment. So with one flight and with our analysis package, we can look at gases, things like methane, ethane, propane, butane, hydrogen sulfide. We can look at soils such as petroleum hydrocarbons in the soils. We can look at minerals and the geology of those minerals, as well as the geochemistry of those minerals. We can look at water contamination. We can look at trees, tree species, tree health, and we look at pollutants. We wrap that all up into environment impact analysis, which downstream has many, many different use cases, carbon credits, landfills, oil and gas, et cetera. So we're going to show you here a little bit more about where we're spending our time. So again, multiple insights, one flight. So we can look at an entire environment very, very quickly and ascertain many, many different aspects of it. So what's the problem today? The problem really today is that historically this technology is complex. It requires PhDs for analysis and the solutions are slow and bulky. So our competitors today would be considered very slow and bulky. And so what have we done? We've hired some of the leading experts in the space. We have 3 people on our staff that have been in this space for almost 70 years. We have automated the process. So we sped everything up. We were the first customers of a lot of our competitors. We found it very slow, very arduous. We've sped that up. We've automated that. And we work with multiple systems, meaning that we work with satellites. We worked with cameras attached to satellites, cameras attached to helicopters, to drones, et cetera. Biggest thing about our market is the opportunities. So who's pulling us in? So we've been pulled in by some very large Fortune 500 style companies. So from left to right, Chevron is looking at how to assess their environments for remediation, site remediations. We've been awarded a contract. We're working on it this year. They have an extremely large available market, 3,000 sites, $100,000 per site just for remediation aspects. And I'll speak to that a little bit more. The push on that is regulatory. So they have a lot of regulations with regards to EPA, ESG obligations that are making them pursue this type of technology. We've also done work with Capgemini and Hydro One in Ontario, looking at vegetation health, vegetation species, so we could ascertain potential fires fire damage to their distribution transmission lines. And again, mentioned the environment assessment, landfills with Tetra Tech. So let's look at the Chevron use case. Chevron has multiple sites where there's many different things that they need to look at either on a monthly or a quarterly basis. An example of what they would want us to see, they'd want to understand potentially petroleum hydrocarbons in the soil. They may want to be looking for asbestos in the vegetation around the area. They may be wanting to look at water contamination. Critical thing for us is that we are the analytics package, the go-to-market with Chevron. There's partners that do all the pipeline integrity flights. We're working with one of their largest integrity partners to deploy the cameras and deploy the software analytics. Again, robust growth. Some of our clients, we are in bids that are in the millions and millions of dollars when it comes to the contracts. We are looking at about $1.5 million over the next 12 months and ramping that fairly quickly as we continue to build out our use cases. We are doing a SAFE right now. We're $300,000 in. This is a seed round, $1 million minimum raise. That $1 million allows us to take our software through the process with Chevron. We are planning on a Series A in 2024. We're already talking about Series A. So the SAFE is really meant to roll over into that SAFE in 2024. With that, I will leave it open for any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Yes.
Said you sped up the process significantly. Can you tell us what the speed up is like and what is the cost implication?
I heard a little bit. It's the speed of the implementation.
Yeah, you said like you guys have sped up from traditional competitors. You've sped it up significantly. Can you talk about what magnitude of scale, like how much have you sped it up? And also what is the cost relative to the traditional way of doing things?
Certainly. Traditionally, some of our competitors like Envy, so everyone's going to want to know who our competitors are. We have a couple of competitors in the space. One of them is Harris Envy. They're a military contractor primarily. They have a package called Envy. We purchased the Envy package when we first started this quest, and their process in our world was a 30-day process. So for every day of collection, it was 30 days to process. We've collapsed that from 30 days now down into 3 days to process. Sometimes it's 5 days, depending on the complexity of the solution. So today it's gone from 30 down to 3 or 4 days. And our expectations are to get that down for a day of collection, a day of processing. So that, and time is cost. So that's a person on a machine moving it around. So these PhDs are not cheap. So you take it from potentially a $30,000, $40,000 processing environment down to a couple $1,000s. Any other questions?
And in terms of accuracy of data, how do you compare with the incumbents?
Well, so we've worked everything from UAV all the way up to satellite. So it's really on where the image captures are coming from. So we work with down to 5 centimeter resolutions when you're talking about a UAV or a turntable in a tailings pond, etc. Satellites are more like 5 meter to 10 meter. So the real complexity, though, is in how do you utilize the information to ascertain certain outcomes. So how do you identify methane gas and the methane plume rates? How do you identify petroleum hydrocarbons in the soil? How do you identify certain mineralogy and geochemistry? Those are limited by actually where the cameras, like the style of cameras and the height above ground that the cameras are used. So we've gone everything from 5 centimeter up to 10 meter type resolutions. And that's the compatibility. We can work with any of those cameras and any of those heights. So that's one of our competitive advantages.
Would you just talk a little bit about exactly what your product is? You said
Certainly.
about remediation, but like for a layperson, what is your added value?
So I'll give you the case of Chevron. So Chevron is trying to ascertain a very large, they have got a 100-acre site where they have to look at the impact that they had before and after they clean it. So we can fly that site before and after they remove soil and clean it, for example, and we can ascertain the petroleum hydrocarbons in the soil. We can look for water contamination like heavy metals. and we can look for asbestos in the surrounding area. So they can target those areas to remediate, and then we can measure afterwards to see how the remediation has been done. Our main purpose is the processing of the images. So the images are captured by us or our partners, and then we process it through to conclusion for Chevron.
Hi, how high the drone must fly for detect the gas leak?
So gas can be detected from space all the way down to, depending on the plume rate, we'll fly the UAVs down at around 100 meters above ground. So depends on the modality. We can do gas leak detection at with helis, UAVs, and planes, just depending on the PPMs you need to measure. Any other questions?
One more, Ryan, hang on.
Sure.
I'm curious as to the accuracy of the technology. Can't hear you. I was wondering, excuse me, I was wondering as to the accuracy of your analysis. I'm not sure if that's been answered before, but.
It's a very complex question, a very complex answer. So hyperspectral has been around for about 40 years. Primarily has been US, NASA, JPL based. It's primarily been open available for research and development. And so there's multiple different disciplines within the utilization of hyperspectral imagery for certain downstream analysis. So we have the three, we'd say we have three of the top minds in this space that have experience in soil, in gases, in mineralogy, and in vegetation. So we would consider ourselves the forefront of accuracy and correct, or I guess you could say audited answers. So there's been correlated answers.
Okay, great. That's all we have for questions.
Thank you.
All right, who do you think has the best question? So Stephen will hand out the book to the person that you think had the best question.
We always like the questions with people who understand the need for speed.
So who is that in the room?
The person who asked us about the collapse of time, how much time we've saved and how much dollars we've saved by getting our processing automated.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. We have a winner.
Thank you.
All right, so you know the deal, people. Look in the chat if you're online to give feedback on this company. And if you're here in person, take a picture of the QR code that's on the desk and likewise give feedback. This feedback is really important to all the companies. As I mentioned at the beginning of our meeting, this is usually the start of their capital raise tour, and anything that you give to them as feedback is always very useful. All right, now we're into our final full presentation, and I'm going to ask Jesse Weeb to introduce TruCelium. So I think that this is a great company, but Jesse Weeb is going to let us know why we should pay special attention. Jesse, over to you.
Hi, VANTEC. Good to see you. Yeah, Jesse here representing Startup TNT. I also have a family office, and we invested in this company a couple years ago, in large part because on a personal side, we believe investing in companies making real things that are really going to transform and have a great impact on the world. Fantastic team here at TruCelium. They've really proven that through the traction that they've seen over the last couple of years. This industry is right on the cusp of exploding, and TruCelium is going to be on the ground floor of this industry explosion. A lot of purchase orders already in place. The new facility is about to be officially opened in just, I think, the next few weeks, but we're going to be hear from Rory. Lots of IP in this company, in this industry, with the various people they have on board. A lot of great tech and innovation on it, as well as just that good old fashioned food production. So with that, I will let Rory take it away and tell us why TruCelium is going to change the world with mushrooms.
Great. All right, Rob, let's jump in because they've already started the 5-minute clock. We are located in Vernon, roughly Coldstream. We have a 50,000 square foot facility about to open in about 4 weeks here, a little bit under. We just secured the rights to another 110,000 square feet. We're led by the former CEO of McCain Foods, who's run some of the biggest companies in the world in the food space. We even have the former CEO of McDonald's on the board of advisors. My background is really getting patents and products and companies launched. They're used by some of the biggest companies in the world. Let's move on here, Rob, because we don't have a lot of time. Next slide. Why functional mushrooms? These are lion's mane, turkey-tailed chaga, cordyceps. They're the legal kind. They are exploding. The reason why is during COVID, we saw people asking more questions, not just that they can pronounce the ingredient, but what are the ingredients doing for them? So functional foods and beverages have absolutely exploded. Mushrooms are leading it. They're the superfood of the year, according to New York Times and Forbes. And mushroom supplements saw a 30% increase from 2021 to 2022. And that's going up like a hockey stick. There is a global supply and demand problem. One of the great barriers to entry is it takes 2 years to spool up a facility. We're literally at that 2-year mark. We timed this perfectly. Consumers are looking for functional ingredients in their products. That's us. And the great thing about this market space is even during recessions, these health and wellness products do extremely well. Next one, Rob. Here's our facility. That's a 500,000 square foot ag tech park. We've already done our first inoculations to service POs. That's our team up top on the left. You see this massive submarine size equipment. We've already paid for all this stuff. It's installed, and we're ready to open the doors in about 4 weeks. Next. Our innovation is a big deal for us. Our whole backgrounds are about innovation. We filed a lot of patents here. We've created a new dough, a fermented dough made of mushrooms, and it's being used to launch a product across Canada in PetSmart in partnership with the Foley Dog Treat Company. National rollout in September. We have a new water-soluble mix, a nanoparticle reduced powder mix for enhanced bioavailability, and enhanced UV vitamin D mixes. Next one, Rob. The overall TAM is huge here, just in your standard marketplaces. We're a B2B wholesale ingredient supplier. We don't do products. It's a $1 trillion TAM here. The functional mushroom space is estimated at over $35 billion here, 34 at a 9% CAGR. I think that's low. That was a year-old stat. Next one, Rob. Path to profit here. Look, we're already in formulation with 20 different companies out of just our proof of concept facility. Our main client is a supplement group that has a $250,000 PO. These are US numbers, and they're offering us their entire annual contract, which is worth about $2 million. We have another $200K in LOIs here lined up, and we have just started to spool up sales. So you can see with those 20 companies in formulation, the ones already launching, we're already outpacing our supply here at our initial run rate. Look at our projections here. If we take a look at year one, these are US numbers, 5.8 million projected in year one, which is September to September. We're well on our way to hitting already 2 million plus on that with just existing clients or more than that. In year two, we hit about 50% capacity of this facility we currently have in place at about 28 million, 29 million US. At year three, we hit max capacity on the 50,000 square foot plant. And that is why we secured another 110,000 square feet in our existing location. We don't have to move. We don't have to go to their cities or countries. We can do it all right in British Columbia and expand our line from there. Our margins are huge, 70+% margins. And what's interesting here is I always look at multiples on how do you exit and what you exit at. Well, just a 3 times EBITDA on a standard exit, you're at 23x return here. If we get to a 7+ times EBITDA, which I think easily we will with all the IP and patents we've got going, you're at a 53 times return. We've built this facility for less than 3 million US. We've bootstrapped. We've postponed salaries for 2 years. We've done this full time around the clock, and we're about to open the doors. Next one, Rob. Here's the ask. We're almost done here. We've got some major investors that have exited with Sarah Lee, sold their robotics companies to Walmart. We've got very notable people in this company. We've raised almost 3 million US. We have the last 350 US left to go. We have not moved the valuation. We've kept it here for 2 years, and all the risk mitigation, all of the launch, all the POs, all the innovations and patents, and the doors about to open. This should be a much higher valuation, but it's a tough climate to raise in. Everyone knows it, and we've all kept our equity because we haven't drawn salaries. So that really sums up where we are. You get 3% of the company for 350K. It doesn't sound like a lot until you go to the previous slide, Rob. If you take a look at the 3 times EBITDA, it's a 23x on your investment. And if we get north of 7 to 10, which I know we will based on what we've got here, that's a 50+ times return. So it's a unicorn company. You don't find these very often, and we've got a blue chip executive team in place. So that's as fast as I can do in 5 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was TruCelium. Questions from the floor? Questions online?
Thank you very much. Great presentation, great looking business you have here.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the markets that you left out, mushroom packaging, styrofoam replacement, also agriculture for health for animals and chickens and things like that?
Yeah, it's wild. You're talking about a really different industry like Ecovative does. You saw great the Seawise. I love what that looks like. We don't do packaging. We're strictly an ingredient play here, but for animals, it's a big deal. The animal feed space is staggering in its size. We're actually starting to work with a company right now on developing an animal feed that uses these different mushrooms for the digestive health issues, for neuroprotection, for energy. So there's a lot of benefits here for cattle, for horses in a big way. So yeah, we're looking at animal feeds. So we're really into supplements, protein shakes. The cosmetic industry is starting to lean heavily in our sector. So we're looking at that right now. It's such a wide range of products, of verticals we can go into. So we're trying to really be flexible with those 20 companies that we're formulating with. They're really across a big, wide swath of sectors. So we're positioning ourselves as a leader with our innovations, and we're creating a better product than anybody else. We heavily test everything, gets third-party tested extensively. So we've really created some growing processes that are different than what other people are currently using. There's only 3 growers in North America, by the way. We're the 4th coming online, and we're going to be the largest. So it's an industry that takes a long time to spool up, 2 years to build a facility. And there aren't a lot of mycologists out there because it's a relatively new, explosive sector. So we've got some of the best in the world, and we're training in-house with shadow trainees so we can expand further.
One question and just a quick comment. Are you working with any pharmaceuticals? Because mushrooms obviously have a lot of benefits that pharmaceuticals are looking into. But the comment that I have is, I know dogs are allergic to mushrooms. So you talk about animal feed, and I was wondering if you'd looked into that.
Yeah, no, dogs aren't allergic to these. I mean, we feed them all the time. PetSmart's doing the national rollout. We're actually working with the second largest, I got to be careful on names on an open call like this, the second largest human grade pet food company in the world is already working with our product. They're launching in January, so we're hoping to be the supplier to them. One of the other biggest in the world that's not human grade is also receiving our materials in 3 months to start formulating. So dogs are great with this stuff. I feed, my dog eats them every day. Other animal feeds and things like that, there doesn't seem to be any issues with them, but that's up to them. We just supply the powder, they do the work. So you know, the liability of litigation or anything like that doesn't fall on our shoulders.
Hey, that was a great presentation. You covered the animal feed. What about people feed?
Yeah, right.
How's it going to improve our life?
Well, here's something. We're at a booth at the IFT, the big trade show in Chicago. We're working with a company. We've just created the first pasta with them. They've created a high protein, low carb, hemp seed oil based pasta with our functional mushrooms in it, and it tastes incredible. So we're going to be handing some out. Now we're just showing this as examples of things you can do with our new flours and doughs we filed patents on, but we made muffins that we call mushins. We did Cliff Bar and Lara Bar and RX Bar duplicates or clones, and everyone loves the taste of it. So we've actually replaced normal doughs and flours with our mushroom functional flour and dough, or we've hybrided them 1-to-1. So these companies, and I have to be careful in this name, but you'll know it instantly, they are launching a snack food line in the biggest retailer in the world, and they've asked us to supply mushroom doughs and flours for R&D as of last week. So everyone's looking at mushrooms right now to put into human foods, and we've got flours and doughs that we file patents on that nobody has.
Okay, last question. It's got to be quick.
Sure. One of the things that I miss the most since I moved from California is the Abbott butchery, the beef that's made completely from mushrooms. Have you ever tasted it? Can I do something like that? Because I can't wait to have it again.
So in our facility, our walls touch, because it's an ag tech park, is an alternative protein company, and they actually started using our mushroom powders in their alternative protein products. They made cordyceps chickenless nuggets and lion's mane beefless strips, and it's amazing. So yeah, they're starting to integrate. So we're going after all these different sectors and formulating with these companies. And it's not just supplements, we're doing a wide range, but alternative protein, those companies are looking to differentiate in a very crowded space that's having problems. So to add functionality to it is a big deal for them. So yeah, we're working on that right now. You've hit one of our kind of little secrets. We don't talk about it a lot here, but my kids are addicted to the cordyceps chickenless nuggets, I can tell you that.
Thank you very much. That was a great question. So Rory, who asked the best question? So think about that while everybody else is going to give you feedback, either online or through the QR code.
I don't know, Rob, let's ask our chief revenue officer over here. Rob, who do you think asked the best question? You were listening in, I got Rob Sudarski here.
I think the understanding of I think there was two great questions because we have such a diverse multiple of industries that we service with our powders. So you might have to rock, scissors, paper for the human consumption or the animal consumption. So
yeah, I like the question of what are you doing for human foods?
Yeah.
So the reason why is because we have the former CEO of McCain and Conagra Lamb Weston and Tyson Bruss and Sarah Lee. He's a titan. So a lot of our investors come from the food sector. We're kind of being quiet about this, but we are looking to change foods with functionality, with our doughs, with our flours. We can sell into supplement manufacturers all day, and that's low-hanging, easy fruit right now. But as competition comes in after a few years here, it's going to be about differentiating with innovation and patents. So we're really going into the food sector to supply ingredients in a big way. So I personally like the human food question, whoever asked that one. It's a big one for us. And if we're going to sell to someone, imagine a General Mills who owns Blue Buffalo, which is a dog treat company, but also has other human snack stuff underneath it. One of the big acquirers will be, I think, one of the food titans, frankly, that will buy us for our onshore manufacturing, our patents, and that it fulfills all kinds of different sectors or verticals that their umbrella company has. So we're planning for one of those big acquisitions from one of the big food groups as potentially, or it could be a hedge fund, but
Rory, the winner has a few words for you.
Yeah. Thanks very much for picking me, but I won last time I was here. So why don't I give this to the animal feed guy?
There you go. No, that's a big one for us. It's kind of dog snacks and bovine and equine. So sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone, that was all the presentations for today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so before we break for food and beverages, I'd like to give a big thanks to the team, the VANTEC team members who put this together, all the way from the people that you saw at the registration desk, that's Charles, Ayush, and Peter, to the tech team headed up by Jackson and Mateus and Wendy, who's online. People who are working hard behind the scenes, that's Roger and Frank and Ashma. Of course, we're going to be heading into the summer, and we just finished our 24th year of VANTEC meetings. VANTEC founded by Mike Volker, and Mike and I have been hosting these for, can you imagine, 24 years. I'm Felza Ali, and I would like to welcome Aaron and Lindsay, who will kick us off in September. So have a great summer. Thank you, everyone.